Hi, Mike from the rural Montana family. It is a super beautiful day here in rural Montana. We got about a foot of snow, about 30 centimeters of snow, and it's nice, beautiful, sunny out this morning. It's a little chilly. Actually, it is 10 in the morning and right now it is 0 degrees, which is Fahrenheit 0 degrees. That is about minus 18 Celsius. So it's a little chilly, but that's okay. We still gotta record a little video about the Chevy Bolt EUV. So I picked up a 2022 Chevy Bolt EUV yesterday, and I'm gonna give you my first impressions when I first got there, picked it up. I drove it to a charger, charged real quick, tested that out, and then drove it home. So my first impressions will be based on picking it up and driving it home, and then I will make a second video about my second impressions. But at first we look at what all my impressions were initially without really knowing much about this car at all. So this here is the car we're talking about, and actually we only got this on loan for a few days from the Missoula Electric Co-op here in Missoula. This is our electric company providing power to us. And you can see up here it says fueled by hydropower and not hydrogen, okay, hydropower. Actually, all our electricity here is coming, pretty much all of it is coming from hydro, so from dams that then produce the power for us. And so that as hydropower is not hydrogen. Don't confuse that. No coal power here really. So yeah, I picked this up yesterday and it was interesting. When I first got to it, and let's unlock it and get in here. So first I put a few things in here, and when I looked in here, I felt like this is premium. It looked really premium, like the black interior. That made it look really high-end, and so that was kind of cool. And I noticed the seats were perforated, so that was an indication of ventilated seats, so that was super cool. So I really liked that part. So that first impression was super great here, totally cool. Then I had to put some stuff in the trunk. So I had to grab a bag, and I came back here and I need to put stuff in the trunk, and so I grabbed under here and I couldn't feel anything, no release, no latch there, nothing to open the trunk. So after looking a little closer, I noticed there's like an indentation down here. So I reached in there and there I found the release, but I found it was relatively cold yesterday too. It's relatively hard to press. And this morning it's really hard to press. I mean, it's not easy at all. And I was kind of disappointed with that release being so low. Here you can see this little indentation that allows you to go in. But here in Montana, if you wear heavy gloves or mittens, you can't get in there and press that button. And like today, it's so super cold. It's really not great at all. I would prefer it somewhere here, higher up, where it's wide and open, so you can easily get to and open, unlatch the tailgate. Then looking in here, what was new to me was this load floor here. So we didn't have this load floor in our Bolt. We didn't have a Premier, only the Premier came with that floor. And so this looked very small to me. So we had about another 6 inches down from there in the Bolt. But then when I opened this, let's take it out real quick. Then we have the same amount of room in here. I don't know, it seems like it is a little bit more, maybe an inch or two than the Bolt used to have, but nothing extreme. And I probably would not have that load floor in here at all. I would probably leave it out the whole time. Yeah, because there is really not much room while that floor is in here. So that was my first impression back here. And the familiar grab handle was here to close the tailgate. So that worked just fine. And then, well, I got into the car. And so I had to adjust my seats, and it was nice to find that this is all power here. Well, it's all premium stuff, right? So, as I came in here, oh, there's the Chevy sound. So, as I came in, well, I had to find the power button again. I stepped on the brake and nothing happened. It's like, what the heck? So again, the power button is still there, which I don't know. In my opinion, stepping on the brake should turn the car on. So that hasn't improved. So what I found down here, this was different than in our 2020 Bolt. They got rid of the stick shifty lever here thing that I really hated. That was, well, didn't really hate it, but it was just ugly and unnecessary. And so this is definitely an improvement, but why do we need so many buttons right here in the center console to shift? That doesn't make any sense, because this area gets dirty real easy all the time. I mean, if you're eating some snack in here, something, the crumbs will fall down in there. It's just a really bad placement, and it takes up so much room here that could be used for better things. My opinion, like maybe a dial in this area or a dial up here somewhere on the dash would be much better than these here, but it's definitely an improvement from the previous model. So also I noticed there is the switch right here for a single pedal driving. Not sure why we need a switch down there for that. That could be in the menu settings somewhere on the screen, because you enable that and leave it enabled, in my opinion. I always drive with the highest regen possible in single pedal driving all year long. So that was kind of unnecessary too. Then I had to find room for my cell phone, and I noticed this here, and this kind of, let's turn this off here, the climate control. And so I found this here, and that looked like a charging pad, wireless charging pad for my cell phone. So I stuck my cell phone in there so that I just had it like this, laid it down and put it in there, so I could actually see the screen if it would light up, which I thought that's pretty cool, but it didn't charge. That was kind of weird. So I had to flip it around so that the screen, the upper part of the screen was towards me, and then slide it in, and then it would charge. But now when a notification came, the screen would light up, but I couldn't read it because it was upside down. So that is kind of odd. I don't know if that is just my phone. I have an iPhone 13, or if that's just what it is. But that kind of sucks. So now that said, if we would rearrange all these things here and probably make this a little wider, there would be room for 2 cell phones anyway. So then, well, I had to start driving, and well, I had to find the controls as always. And as I'm looking at the controls here, there's the windshield wiper, there's turn signals and lights. So, and then we have all the controls here on the steering wheel. I'm not a big fan of all these buttons, and I had to get used and figure all these things out. I was able to figure it out, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of too many buttons here, so it was a little tough. And the one thing I thought was odd is the paddle here is now up here for the increased regeneration. So if you want more regen, or you're not or you have low regen for whatever reason, you can get more regen right here. And I don't know why this needs to stick out like this. I think that's kind of ugly. The 2020 had it behind here, hidden behind here, and I like that much better. So that was kind of that deducted a point or two right there. Looking at the instrument cluster here, it looked smaller. It looks smaller, and like the bars for the state of charge there, they look smaller. They seem to be narrower. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know, small is usually not a good thing for many people. It's a little bit harder to see, but overall that stayed the same. But so when I got in, well, the windows started fogging up, and the climate control was on. So let's turn it back on right here. Let's turn the fan down some. Okay, so the climate control was on, and I just needed to direct the air up here to the window so we can get it on the windows. And I'm looking down here, and I'm trying. Oh, now it doesn't zoom. Now it doesn't. What the heck here? It doesn't focus right. Well, anyway, so I was trying to find how do I direct my air up there. I didn't want to use max. I didn't need max. I just needed some air going up there. I couldn't find this down here. So I press stuff here. I could press AC. There's a second menu popping up in the screen, but still nothing that allows me to direct air. Same thing when I press heat, but still nothing that allows me to direct air. So that was kind of odd. And then I didn't know which fan speed I was at. I seen the fan down here, and again, to see the fan speed, and a second menu pops up. So that's kind of odd. And so eventually I found out the thing that says climate here, if I press it, I get another menu on the screen that then allows me to direct air. So I think, honestly, this is stupid. That's my opinion. It was already in the 2020 Bolt, there was some buttons down here and some stuff up here, and that's just dumb. Either put it all down here or put it all up here. And I know many people like physical buttons. Well, they're not really physical. There's the PC board behind it. This is no different than this screen here. This is full electronic right here. So if this goes out, you're done with your climate control anyway. Just like people say, what if the screen goes out? Well, if the screen goes out, you're done with your climate control. If this goes out, you're done with the climate control. They're both electronics, no difference. But this here is worse. This is the worst there is, because you got some down here and some up here. In order to control it all, you need this and this. If one of them goes out, if this upper one goes out, you don't have all the functions anymore. You have some functions left. If this down here goes out, you're done anyway. So, but why have it this way with some up here, some down here? And why does this menu not pop up when I press heat or AC or anything else down there? There should be a menu that contains everything once I press one of those buttons, I think. Not just a half menu. That really sucks. So I struggled to find this, so I didn't like this at all. This is just not very intuitive. It's not very user-friendly, I think. The looks of the screen and the colors and everything, the way it is, I like that. So that is pretty cool. It looks super nice here with the piano black, but piano black kind of sucks because you can't keep it clean and fingerprints get on there. So that part is, yeah, not so great, but it looks good. Then the other thing, I was able to pair my phone really easy. That worked perfect. I don't know about this here, really. So I got a home button here and I got a home button there. It's doubled up again. Why do I even need those? I'm not sure. And the problem is, if I'm sitting here, that's what I see. I don't see those buttons. I can't even see them. that's ridiculous. So I gotta lean over to see him. If I sit straight forward, I can't see him. So that was annoying. I couldn't even do anything while going down the road, even just adjusting the volume for the stereo. I tried some of the voice commands here. Some of the stuff worked, some of the stuff didn't. So that may have been user error, who knows. I was able to use Apple CarPlay. That worked. We got the glove box over there. That was no problem. So that was really cool. Figured that stuff out. Looked at the light up here real quick with the switch here. How to do the interior lights. That was easy. What I found there, no light. And it was dark coming home. Same thing here. No light. But so it was dark coming home, and yeah, there's no light up there. So you gotta actually turn on the interior light here, and that is kind of dumb. Should have a light up there. Also had to adjust the mirrors. That's usual adjustment right there. So that was no biggie. And played with the windows real quick on the way home, and it says here A and here A, which means automatic, right? But not here. The interesting thing is, so the front windows, they do automatically lower all the way down. It's a 2-position switch. If I just push a little, so if I just push a little, it just goes down a little. If I push all the way down, it goes all the way down. If I lift it all the way up, it goes all the way up. Now on the rear window, same thing, 2-position switch. If I can go a little, or I can go all the way. Now the window's all the way down. And to come back up, it's only a single position. So the rear windows are auto down, but not auto up. And that deducted a couple points right there, in my opinion. That is no good. I mean, you have an auto down, why wouldn't you have an auto up? Everything's there, obviously, to run the window automatic. So, didn't like that too much either. So, the seats are premium. And yeah, it blows hot or cold air up on your behind. So, that's pretty cool. I mean, I like that. I found it to be nice and toasty, so that was great. No problem there. And the lights were decent driving home, so that was good. Another thing I noticed driving home is the windshield gets dirty real easy. I mean, the conditions yesterday were kind of slushy on the road because it was almost up to freezing temperature. It was just below freezing, actually. And so we had quite some slush on the road, and the windshield got really dirty real easy. It seemed like it even got dirty if there was no car right in front of me. Like it actually picked up its own stuff and threw it up on the windshield almost. And I had to wash it quite frequently so I could see out. So that was kind of odd. I will have to see how that works out in a further drive, but didn't like that too much. And I tried the rear window washer. That worked fine. It, as always, just like in the 2020, it took a little bit before it started washing. It seemed like it took like 2 or 3 seconds before washer fluid finally came out back there. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, yeah, everything worked cool. It is overall a decent looking car inside here, you know, and I didn't notice necessarily that it was bigger. So like I said, I just got in and drove it, but so I haven't looked at anything else really yet. That will be in my second video when I take a little deeper dive and tell you my second impressions of all this. But for me as a driver up front here, I didn't notice a size increase of any kind. The chairs feel the same here. Feels the same as in the other Bolt, other than that get a nice warm airflow, I guess. The seat heaters work fine, but the seat heaters work just fine in the 2020 as well. So yeah, overall, I like it, you know. there is the few annoying things that I would think they should have improved since they made changes, but well, they didn't, unfortunately. So now for the next video, I will have to play with all the stuff in here, get into the menu, check out the charging a little bit more. I went to a charger real quick, plugged in to see if that works. That works basically the same way. The charge port looks the same. I definitely need to see, this has a couple miles less range, so we need to see if it can drive as far as our 2020 Bolt did, because our 2020 Bolt did really good. And so I have a trip planned to Wolf Creek, and I do have a video where I drive the 2020 Bolt to Wolf Creek in the summertime, and I do have a video where I drive the 2020 Bolt to Wolf Creek in the wintertime. And this goes through no charger land. So especially in the wintertime, this will be exciting, especially with the cold that we have right now. Holy moly. So, but anyway, if you haven't seen those other two videos, go check them out. I'm going to put a link down below in the description, and maybe I can put one up here as well. But go check those out so you can compare the Bolt to the Bolt EUV. Once this video comes out for this drive here, this will be a week or two possibly. But yeah, then you can compare and see if the Bolt EUV can do it or cannot do it. We'll find out. And that will give you an idea if you maybe need a regular Bolt rather than an EUV. So, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of those videos. They'll be coming up. I'll try to shoot a few videos here as long as I have this car. I will have to return it in about 3 days. So I only have limited time, unfortunately, with it, but we'll make the most out of it. So don't forget, give us a thumbs up for this video. I mean, I'm out here in the cold doing this for you, so this deserves a thumbs up, please. Don't forget, like I said, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And go down below into the description and click the link to our Redbubble store. It's just before Christmas, so the holidays are coming. If you need some gifts that are EV inspired, go look at our Redbubble store. I'm sure you can find something there. That would be great if you order something from our store. In any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hehehe